defeated you.
Have a
what up?
Superman Monday.
How you brothers? How your brothers doing? But wait. Before we move on, Rick, I just want to say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day, everybody in the chat panel, everybody. You know what I mean?
No, to all fathers, I'm saying it. Why you being so partial, bro? Say Happy Father's Day. Pay your back child support. There you go, bro. All right. Thank you. Who else?
No worries.
I know
no
he
worries,
ain't
man.
even say thank you. So thank you. Who else? Happy I
Appreciate
don't know
it.
if you're a dad, but happy Father's Day to you.
Yeah, I am. Same to you, brother.
Yeah,
Same to you.
thank you. Oh my
Oh shit.
goodness! Wow.
Yo. Facts. Yeah, we can restart next Monday. We finished Last of Us, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, this nigga.
She's a nice lady. Maybe she met the milkman dad. The one minute she gonna be there, the next minute she gone.
Thrill Ali says you're muted. You have no value. You hear the date. He used the Discord.
No, you're muted. We're not.
Yeah, you're muted. Yeah.
Victory has defeated you. Victory has defeated you.
Let me check the YouTube. Hold on, let me turn it up.
Well, we hear you. We don't know why you ain't coming through the YouTube.
Yeah, you're still muted on the show.
Levon on the wrong episode of you.
I'm here. So let's talk about Batman. James Gunn's response to fans wanting Robert Pattinson and DCU.
Put that up on the screen, Rick.
James Gunn have responded to a comment asking him to put Robert Pattinson Batman in the DCU. All right, so he pretty much responded in a comment claiming all DC fans want Pattinson's Batman to join the DCU. Gunn said all would seem to be pushing it. So Gunn has said before that he doesn't plan on making Pattinson's Dark Knight the DCU Batman. So how do you guys feel about this?
I'm actually fine with it.
Yeah, I'm not. Shouldn't be surprising.
Which Batman is that?
The skinny one from Twilight. The Twilight Batman.
Yeah, it shouldn't be surprising. I mean, he's a dark universe, and this is not going to be that dark. So I'm fine with it too.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have no issue with it, but I know Vaughn and Rick probably hate it to death because they love what's his name? Shoot. What's Jennifer Lopez's husband's name? I can't remember his name.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck,
Which
yeah,
one?
they both like him as Batman. You said which one? Damn.
Yeah, which one? I don't
But
think
yeah,
they
I'm
turned in Batman.
Anyone else? Any other comments or?
I don't think I never saw him play Batman. I don't think I wanted to when they said who he was. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Who Ben?
Yeah, the one from
Robert
Twilight.
Pattinson.
The Twilight, yeah, I didn't want to watch
Did
that.
you didn't watch the Batman with Riddler? Bruh, that movie's off the chart, bro. We try to tell you right now. That train's off the chart.
The Twilight dude, that was the one?
Yes, that movie's off the chart, bro.
Yeah.
It's one of the best Batman. It's close to being the top Batman movie, bro.
I mean,
Like,
I don't agree with that, but you know, a lot of people do agree with his take. So
To me, it's second is behind the Dark Knight. I would say that. I don't think there's anything else other Batman
man,
movie in my opinion.
89 is always the top for me. I'm sorry, that was my era, and 89 has always lived up.
Behind the Dark Knight. I would say that. Who got the stream playing in the back?
That's Rick. He's trying to fuck with it,
Okay.
try to see.
Oh, okay.
Rick, are you testing your mic, Rick, or no?
No, I said Keaton. You saying that?
Oh
Keaton?
no, I didn't hear
You
you say
said
anything.
you said 89.
Which
assume
Batman
that's
was
Jack-
in the
I'm
movie
assuming-
with which Batman played with the Riddler and Two-Face? I think that's Riddler and Two-Face.
He died. That was
Oh, Rick, we can hear you now on the
That
screen.
was
You
on
good,
Val
you good,
Kilmer.
man.
yeah,
think-
Val Kilmer.
yeah,
Yeah,
Val
Val
Kilmer.
Kilmer. Oh, y'all can hear me now. Y'all can
Yeah.
hear me? Oh, okay.
I like that Batman.
Yeah, that's Val Kilmer. Yeah, Val Kilmer. Yeah, he was kind of short though. To play Batman, he was a little short. I think to me the best Batman was Ben Affleck. He had the build for it as far as the height.
I told y'all.
Yeah, he looked like Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne.
we
He looked
know
like
that.
Bruce Wayne. Listen, come on, you get that skinny little nigga out of here. That's Nightwing. You can't tell me that, bro. They should do something with this multiverse and have him be Nightwing. He looks like a Nightwing. First of all, Bruce Wayne enjoyed his wealth as being Bruce Wayne. He didn't wear bummy ass clothes and look like he played in Twilight. He drove Lamborghinis. He had girls
I mean,
around
did
him.
you see Batman Begins though? Because
Even
the beginning of that
it
movie,
doesn't
he
matter.
was kinda-
Okay, in Batman Begins, he was still a spoiled rich guy, not walking around some emo freaking. Nah, I wasn't feeling his take on
He
Bruce
was not
Wayne.
emo, bro.
Yeah, he was. He was
not emo,
something
bro. Stop
in the way. Bro, come on. He was. You know what? He was a gothic Batman. Gothman. That's what he was, bro. That was Nightwing.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he was not a very good
it. Wow.
Bruce Wayne. I mean, you can say whatever you want about. Look, I'm not going to look. It was a good movie, but let's be honest. If you exchange the superhero names to just John, Mary, David, or whatever, it's still a good movie. It doesn't. Now, it was BS when he fell on his ass when he was on that glider and he got up like nothing happened. That was a little disappointing.
I don't remember that.
Well, I bet
Have
you
to
don't.
watch it.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't remember. I ain't say it ain't happened. I ain't defend
You know
it.
what?
I just said I don't remember.
Say, oh, the Batman. You know, let's show it on the screen. Hell, why not?
See, you got him starting with the rambling right now. See, Rose, you did
Yeah,
this.
you
no,
did it.
no.
You
I
did.
told you he couldn't control himself.
No, it's not about me controlling myself. Well, you know what? They're gonna flag us. Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna just say that. You better not.
Yeah, they're gonna flag us.
All right, let's go on to the next topic. Ghostrider is finally making his debut in the MCU. Specifically, turns out Marvel Studios is reportedly putting a Midnight Suns film into development for the DCU, and Ghostrider will apparently lead the team. Most people know
Hey, Levon,
Ghostrider
I don't
played
have that
as
article.
Nicolas Cage.
I don't have that article, Levon.
It's in the links and articles.
All right, hold on a second.
Is the dude who played the original Ghost Rider playing it?
That's
Or the
Nicolas
new
Cage.
dude?
No.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage playing it.
Oh, that's
I don't.
receding hairline, Nicolas Cage. No,
Oh man,
Good.
that's about here.
I don't think so.
All right. Okay.
So who y'all think should play it then?
I don't know, dude. He has a burning skull half the time. Anybody can play that part.
Yeah, but you still got to play as human self.
Yeah, but he's in
I'll be
human. I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest with y'all. I think the dude from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if y'all ever watched that show, they had a Ghostwriter on that, Robbie Reyes. I love that actor.
Oh man,
I think
well,
he should.
You know what?
Yeah.
They probably. You might as well. I mean, bro, they brought back the leader from that Incredible Hulk movie. Nobody thought they was gonna do that.
Facts,
Yeah, they brought that dude back. So yeah, why not, man? Just keep it. It's all about sometimes, especially when the MCU's not hitting like it used to, man. Just stay. If you stick with continuity, that's one of the things people can look at and be like, oh, okay, it's the same guy from this or the same guy from that or BDB, you know, whatever.
I don't mean to change the subject, but did they get the rights to Hulk back yet? I think somebody said that, didn't they?
You talking about Marvel? I think.
I don't know. They still got that roller coaster over there, at Universal Studios. I don't know.
I think Universal still has the movie rights. Hulk movie rights.
Universal, yep, they still own it. They still own the rights to a solo Hulk film.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel has the rights to use the
character. They can't put the name.
Movie.
Yeah, they can't put Hulk in the title of the movie.
Well, you know why they won't, and it's not that because they don't think they can make money off Hulk. That Hulk movie underperformed when they started the MCU, and it underperformed. And what's the name at the time had to put up most of the money, Universal, and they was like, "Screw this." You know, we put up all that money, and then this is what happened. Remember, they did back-to-back Hulk movies, and they didn't do very well.
The David Banner one, and then Edward Norton one.
Eric Bana, remember? Let's see.
Yeah, Eric Bana. That's what I meant. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, Eric Bana. So if we look at, let's see, the Hulk, the 2003 one, they made one in 2003, and they made one in 2008.
Like, so 5 years apart, 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like you already knew something, because they wanted to get him in the MCU. All right, so the first Hulk movie, they hurting. It was $137 million. I remember it was the Asian brother that Ang Lee, he directed it. So it cost $137 to make. Only made $245 at the box office. That's not good. That's not good enough. And then when the Incredible Hulk came after, with the Iron Man hype, because people were so happy about Iron Man and how that went, they went and made another one. And then
when did Iron Man come out again? Did it come out a month before, or
I think Iron Man came out.
It came out in the same year.
I think Iron Man. Let's see, Iron Man came out first, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he made a cameo at the end of Hulk, like Samuel L. Jackson made a cameo at the end of Iron Man.
2008.
So 2008, because this is where they were gonna do the MCU. You know, they was like, hey, this is what we're gonna do here, MCU, blah 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 blah. Kevin Feige was involved in this because Kevin Feige knew where he wanted to go with the MCU. And he was involved with Iron Man 2, obviously, in this. And this one cost $150 million to make. And it still only produced $265 million. So they were looking like Hulk he's not a superstar to stand by himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Swordfish is here!
Okay, so it was a month apart. Okay, I just looked it up.
Yeah. I remember seeing both of them in the theaters.
It was a month.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man came out in May, and Hulk came out in June. Yeah.
And then Iron Man 2 came out, I believe, was the next movie. And then at the end of Iron Man 2, didn't they have something with Thor, and then Thor came out?
I think it was, I forgot how it went. I think you're right, my brother.
Let's see.
Who, me? Or
I'm talking about Rick.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, you're right too, Levon. You ain't wrong.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any other thoughts about Ghostrider or anything? Or
I mean, I think it would be dope to have a Midnight Suns. Maybe they could finally introduce a correct Blade, because he was also on that team. So it'll be interesting to see if well, I know Marvel could pull it off. I just hope
you know what I want to see, bro. Be honest with you, I think you should get my man from the Punisher and get us a movie where
which one?
The real Punisher, bro. the Punisher from the Disney Plus joints. Okay. The Netflix. That's the real Punisher.
Okay.
You know, and I saw him in that, bro. If I don't think you don't have to now, but I believe if you have Peacock, you can go and see The Accountant too. That was a good movie.
Okay. Man, they didn't do well on the box office.
No, bro, Sinners took everybody's lunch, dude. Sinners, listen, Sinners killed Accountant 2, Sinners killed the Thunderbolts. Sinners just had that momentum. You couldn't shake Sinners, bro. People was going to see it instead of seeing that other stuff.
Except for Parker.
Oh well, you know, he's a coon. But you know, that's what it was. Like Sinners took a lot of people's lunch, and The Accountant was a good. See, even if a movie doesn't live up to expectations of the studio, but it gets a good word of mouth as far as it being a good movie, they will make a sequel.
Well, I don't know, Rick, because Thunderbolts didn't live up to the expectation, and they got great Rotten Tomato scores.
Neither did Batman Begins, and look what they got out of that. Batman Begins made almost no money. Oh my God, Batman Begins! I fell asleep watching that movie. You know, yeah, I did. I felt it wasn't a lot of action.
Yeah, I liked it.
Listen, I didn't say I didn't like it. So I fell asleep because there was a lot of parts with him begging. You're Bruce Wayne. You don't beg no woman to be with you. So just for people, just look here. Check this out. This is probably one of the low. I think Keaton's movie did better. Batman Begins cost $150. It only did $373 at the box office. That's it.
You said only that. That's
only.
That sounds.
Yeah, but you need 3. 150 times 3 to be profitable. They didn't hit that number.
I heard you and Parker arguing about that number. So which one is correct?
Well, because that's just Parker's an idiot. Because here's the deal. Parker. Yeah, because he is. Because he is. He's, you know, because you can't. All right, so here's where me and Parker were beefing. He's telling me that the Superman movie cost $225 million.
Which one? The new one?
Yeah, the new one. It's $225 million. He keeps using his production budget. He uses sight words, production budget, Hollywood rules, this and that. I use money. You can't tell me if the movie costs $225 million with a $200 million budget that you can't count that $200 million in freaking what is it? Advertising. You got to count that. It's not like it's free. So I'm trying to tell Parker. I'm like, Parker, you spent $225 on the movie. You spend $200 in marketing. You can't say, well, he said, well, all you got to do is go 2 times and 2.5 times and you break even. I said, how do you break even? If you take $225 and you multiply that times 2.5, it's, I don't know, 5 and change or whatever. He's like, yeah, that's part of the $400 million. I said, you don't get that money. Just because the movie makes $300 million at the box office, that money doesn't go into the movie people's pockets. The movie theater gets a piece of that. Why do you think they use multipliers? You don't get all of that money. And he broke it down
in shared revenue.
Yeah, exactly. He broke it down in layman's terms his own way, and he was still wrong. He said, all right, so Rick, let's say if I do a movie for $200 and then you put $100 into it for marketing. He said, if we do $300 in ticket sales for the night, we broke even. I said, no, we didn't. We had to rent the theater out. They get a piece of that. I said, it's not dollar for dollar. If it makes $300 million, they don't write a check that weekend and send it off to Disney. That's not how it works. Sometimes they get half. The Star Wars movies get half. That is crazy.
It's like making a game. It might take you $300 million, but
yes,
that doesn't include whatever. That doesn't mean that when you get $300 million back, you still got to pay licensing.
Yes, you got to pay all of that stuff, and that's why we was arguing. And even Manhattan was trying to tell him, like, bro, this freaking Thunderbolts is underwater. He fought us for a half hour saying how Thunderbolts was not underwater.
I was watching from the sidelines. I was watching.
Bro, I'm like, bro, how can you mean it didn't make money? Like, what are you talking about?
More the Superman stuff, but yeah, Thunderbolt was a watch
because you don't know. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it was even the Superman. The Superman,
you knew
you can't.
You knew it was a wash because it made less than
yes, and they called Captain America a flop. Remember that?
Yeah.
So how could that movie that cost the same be not called one?
Disney didn't think Captain America did well, and if they didn't think Captain America did well, that made more than Thunderbolt.
Bro, that shit is still crawling at $379. Yeah. It's crawling. So yes, so you can say whatever you want. Superman costs $425.
Where did you get these numbers from, my brother?
It's 225 was the production budget.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
to break even?
Yeah. No. 220. Here's the deal. The break even point for Superman would be $425 million. You spent 225 in production, and you spent $200 million in marketing. And I see it. He's everywhere, bro. I went to the store and Superman. Hell, they did a hell of a job. They opened their wallet.
This has got to be
They opened their wallet.
marketing I've ever seen, because Man of Steel.
Yes. Man of Steel didn't have this. They did not have this, bro. If
I give them,
man,
I think they might really. I think they really do have.
Well, they know this is do or die, Manhattan. Let's keep in mind here. This is do or die. This is do or die.
Because I've never seen as much marketing for in none of these movies like this. I mean, they had to shit even on the Empire State Building, even on the Empire State Building to this day, bro. I mean, when it goes
they
up,
are so they are so scared about this movie film. They have made posters with Superman shaking hands with Mr. Fantastic. Like, what? Are you nuts? They are down bad. They are trying to make it look like the Superman's in the damn MCU. I'm like, what?
I think that was fan created though, Rick.
I don't care. It was still out there. But that is nuts.
I mean, I don't think Marvel or DC will ever do that on the MCU.
Listen, MCU does not want the stink of Superman anywhere near them. Nowhere near. He has Superman under Snyder's control has fallen below Harley Quinn, Iron Man, and everybody else. They don't listen. They did they made him fall.
I think Disney got a bigger fish to fry with that Fantastic Four, though.
They're not, because all their Avengers movies do $1 billion.
Nah,
they're good.
It's the reason why you don't really hit like some of the stuff that like people they trying to hide about, like they're calling it MCU. You know what that means, right?
Oh yeah, like me too.
It's the dude, bro.
Behind closed door, like they're saying that like Disney trying to keep it on the wrap, but they calling it MCU. So
you know what?
Anti-woke losers.
Guess what? If that's the case,
no. Like it has something to do with like, you know, the women being the forefront of the movie.
Oh, they tried that with that horrible scene and Avengers Endgame, where they all got out and what's her name? Wasp, who has no powers. She's worthless. I can kill her. And then she just I mean, come on, please. Look, you know what? If that's the case, then let it fail. I don't care. Let it burn down. Go back to what got you here. Go back to Iron Man, how that was, how Captain America and all that stuff was. Go back to it.
Nah, but Rick, you got to show other people some love, because if that was the case, we would have never got a Black Panther, because one of the former CEOs of Disney,
I think it was Mike Perlmutter. I think that's the guy.
Yeah, he did not want Wesley Snipes to play Black Panther because he saw it as a negative image that would stain Marvel. So that's why they didn't. In the 90s, he was supposed to play Black Panther, and they never let it rock. So I'm not going to tell you that we got to keep recycling it, because we would have never got people like Miles or Black Panther if you keep recycling.
Well, Disney also did an injustice. Instead of giving another Black adult a job, they freaking went and they did this thing with Shuri being Black Panther when that didn't even happen anywhere near close to that.
It did happen in the comics, though.
Yeah, it did, but not that fast. Hell, you just had Endgame.
No, but think about it. Real life happened.
Man, the nigga died, had no funeral in the MCU. They should have just recasted him. So, you know, you could recast the light-skinned brother, you know, that didn't want Disney's advances. But then, they put Don Cheadle back in there like nothing happened. Like, come on. Like, people have... Ed Norton. You mean to tell... They have recasted people before. But all of a sudden, they didn't want to recast the Black Panther. I don't buy that BS that it was done because of paying respect. No, I don't believe that. Because everybody knows...
disgruntled. They're saying because it was disgruntled, there was a difference.
Somebody
was upset versus somebody dying.
Man, here's the deal. Life goes on. These are people that play parts. Everybody knows that Black Panther was supposed to head the MCU. We all know that.
If somebody else played Tony Stark, you wouldn't mind, right?
No, and not if they did a good job. If they did a good job,
through your teeth, man.
If they did a good job, nobody cares. They replaced the Hulk. I never complained.
He's
too short.
Right,
he's too short.
See? You see that? All right.
After someone else played the role instead of them just shelving the whole entire character.
Yeah, at least you recasted it, bro.
Yeah, you're asking me that? Is that a question for me?
It wasn't anything. That was just a statement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and a good statement at that, by the way. Because look, man, You can't. Look, they did a bad job. Look, not everybody does everything well. They put Richard Pryor in a Superman 3. That was awful. Certain things just shouldn't happen. But they happened anyway, and you got to roll with the punches. It is what it is. But I'm telling you right now, they should have never recasted Black Panther. They should have got old boy that we was talking about from,
Cross.
from Cross. Perfect, jacked up dude. He can fake a African accent. Manhattan does it every day. So
he can pretty much do any accent.
Yes, that guy. He's pretty good.
If you watched him in Leverage, bro, his range.
Yes, good range.
Ridiculous.
But you know what? He probably don't come cheap. He knows what he's worth. That's what
I bet he don't. Yeah. Because in Leverage, man, he had to play. He had also to play so many roles.
He played so many roles. He also played in Walking Dead. Like, bro, the dude, you're not going. He probably
has ridiculous.
Yeah, he probably like, yo, you're not going to shortchange me. You know, it's going to cost you because they get these people on these. Listen, Chris Hemsworth signed a bad deal. He wasn't making any money. Scarlett Johansson, she signed a low, but all these guys signed low budget deals, except for guess who? Terrence Howard. He was the highest paid guy in the MCU, and you see what they did with him. They got him up out of there. Terrence Howard made more money in Iron Man than Robert Downey Jr. did.
Wow.
That's because he was hotter back then, and they was taking a chance with Robert Downey.
Oh, hell yeah, they were taking a chance. This guy was an alcoholic, a druggie. He played his own life and left.
He's also a felon. Let's not forget that. He's from armed robbery. So let's not forget that.
Well, hey, listen, man.
He was at the time of the role, or he is now.
He wasn't.
He's already a convict.
Always a felon once you're a felon.
Yeah.
No.
He served jail time and everything.
What I mean is, was it before he played the role?
Yes, it was.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Oh yeah,
but here's the reason they gave him the role, because what he was is what Tony Stark was in the comic books: an alcoholic, a druggie, a womanizer. That kind of thing. Now that's when the MCU really started going downhill. If y'all want to really, put a timestamp on this, the MCU went downhill when they stopped making Tony a womanizer. And you know why that happened? Because Disney bought him. Feige was in control until Disney came along. I'm telling you right now, Feige's not pushing these buttons on that wokeness and all that. It's not him. When Disney bought Marvel, they made Tony settle down with Pepper and all of that other stuff. That's what happened afterwards. Go look at the Iron Man movies, the first 2 Iron Man movies. How he acted when he was in, all the Hulk and all that stuff, waking up different women. So they don't do that no more. They stopped it. That's what Tony Stark was. He's the anti-Batman. He only cares about himself and he likes women and stuff. That's what he does. He's not worried about, the city burning or nothing like that. He didn't care, but that's what they made him. They made him, they screwed him up. But anyway, Ghostrider, I don't know. Who we going to get to play Ghostrider? I have no idea. He's mostly CGI.
Cage.
Well, you know who Ghostrider. I can tell you who Ghostrider was. The one that was recommended, Tommy from The Last of Us HBO. He was the Ghostrider in Agents of
Shield. Keep him. He's got potential. He's going to have to carry that show next season. He's got potential because, people saying that I'm going to be a dad. Well, get your ass up out of here. What do you got for me, Levon?
I basically got about the Fantastic Four First Steps opening weekend estimates. It rose to...
you mean Rose?
Rose to 155 million.
Oh, yeah. 155.
150.
Is that domestic or what is that?
Domestic.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's pretty good then.
If it's 155, it's going to do $3 bills.
You think it's going to do half in other countries?
They usually do that. The MCU movies are always usually split like that. That's just what it is with the MCU. We can go and fact check that. Let's take even Thunderbolts. Let's see. Thunderbolts, also known as New Avengers.
Yo, hold up, Rick. We didn't do weekend box office.
Well, we're saving that for last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're gonna do that. All right. So, So speaking of that,
I'll be right back.
All right, so that's a good segue to that, Levon. So we'll do is we'll end with the weekend box office. We might have to start ending with the weekend box office because it's summertime. So we might start ending with the week because the box office is never going to be hotter than any other time than it is right now this year. All right, so if you look at Thunderbolts, Look at that, 188, 190 worldwide. It's usually split, dudes. So let's go take a look at Captain America. All right, Captain America: Brave New World, 200, 214.
Hey, Ricky, before you go with that, can I ask you guys a question right quick? Because I was looking at y'all, and that thing that happened with Terrence Howard, when Don Cheadle took his place, did they offer Don Cheadle more money? Because remember, Terrence Howard said the first...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. No, I said Terrence Howard, the first movie, he said he supposed to get 4. The second movie supposed to get 8 million, and the third movie supposed to get 12 million. But they reneged on the second movie and said they were going to give you $1 million. So, do anybody know how much they gave Don Cheadle when he took his place?
I don't know. I don't even know what that is on record. Sure. But to be honest with you, Don Cheadle is a better actor than Terrence Howard. You know, I got respect for Terrence Howard, but he's not a better actor than Don Cheadle.
You know what Terrence Howard did say? He said that
he said Robbie Downey Jr. should have gave him an alley-oop, but he didn't.
But here's the thing. He said that he went out on a limb with Marvel and said, he vouched for him like before production and all of that. And then when it came for time for his renewal,
he
didn't have his back.
He didn't have his back. Yeah. He's definitely sour grapes on that. Definitely. I don't blame him. Yeah.
I would be if I looked.
I thought he would have been a good War Machine, bro. But think about it. He's taller. He's more handsome. He's in better shape. He looks like a Colonel Rhodes, to be honest with you. Don Cheadle looks like a runaway slave. I'm just saying. You know.
That's terrible.
Well, I mean, he does. You know.
Why, Ray?
That's terrible.
Because he does.
Because he's dark.
He's got a head like an African. Look, I'm just listen, man. He's got that big thing in the back of his head. But
that's crazy.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But hey, look, I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, so if you look, Deuce, here's another one. Usually almost split right down the middle. Here's Captain America: Brave New World, 200 domestically, 214. Thunderbolts was almost split as well. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it.
So let's go with Civil War here. Civil War. Now this is where it just blows the fuck up. Look at this. Civil War was 400 million domestically. Look what the hell it did internationally. 746. So that's why I'm telling you, at a minimum, Fantastic Four will do 300 if it's tracking at 150. Now, if you have the explosion of the Civil War, well, there you go. But let's be honest here. Civil War had a lot of characters in that movie. That's why people went to go see that. They see the Black Panther. Oh, man. To see these guys fighting. Spider-Man's in here. Spider-Man is huge overseas. So there you go.
Spider-Man's huge everywhere.
But he's just overseas. He's like, I mean, remember, this is just America. You know, you're talking over there? Oh, everybody. Little kids have Spider-Man toys in the Philippines. Like, bro, that's what it is. So there's another one that was split. Captain America: First Avenger, probably not split. Almost. Look at that. 193 to 176. Yeah, it's usually split. So if Fantastic Four is standing to get 150 domestically, Parker's in trouble.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Ty, that woman is here after about a month. What's going on, Ty? Ty's here. So yeah, Parker's in trouble. He's in trouble. If that does 150, that means that Fantastic Four is going to do a minimum of 3. Is Superman going to give you 3?
I mean, I think Superman. I think Superman will. If I'm not on my Parker shit, but I think Superman could.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Because the MCU is usually split 50-50. That's kind of how it is, unless you have a big blow up like this. I don't know what Endgame was. Let's see. Endgame.
And I say that pending China and Asia.
Look at that.
Input.
Endgame is like, bro, it almost did. You realize Endgame almost did $2 billion internationally?
Yeah, but there's a caveat with that, Rick. You already know that it also re-released in the theaters also. So what was the real number before it re-released?
Only well, it re-released for like a month. It wasn't like Titanic that came out like 10 times. No, nowhere near that. Look at this. Ultron did almost $1 billion alone. And that movie sucked. That was the worst Avenger movie. Was Ultron. Ultron sucked.
I wouldn't say it sucked. It wasn't the best Avengers movie. I can agree with that.
The only thing that came out of Ultron that was good was the Hulkbuster.
Nah, I like Black Widow. I actually liked the minimum screen time we got with Quicksilver.
Well,
not Black Widow. I meant Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet bitch. I don't know. I
mean, you been drinking, Rick?
No. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, 'cause I got no reason to lie. Yeah. But that's just what it was. I wish Parker was here to explain his his mathematical prowess when it comes to these movies breaking. You can't break even unless you hit the foreign change part, and you're not going to hit foreign change making foreign change worldwide. It's got to be a little bit more. So that's what I was trying to tell him. You can't just take out the marketing like it doesn't exist. That's what it is. But
the movie gonna do well.
I'm not saying it's not. It's
speaking
just
it into existence. It's gonna do well.
You can speak until you want. Not gonna do better than Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is already gonna sit at $300 million in just one weekend. That's what it's gonna do.
Oh yeah, I'm about arguing that point.
What makes you? Why do you have such a confidence in Fantastic Four?
Well, it's not a confidence. It's because I have real numbers. It's tracking for 150.
No. Why do you have such confidence in Fantastic Four?
Because it's the prelude to the Avengers movie, and preludes do very well. They do. Superman's a start. There's question marks.
Yeah, I don't.
It's okay.
I think Superman would do better than Fantastic Four.
Of course you do. You're a Superman guy. But he's not.
No, it's not that. Fantastic Four is just not that big of a superhero as you
try
to make him out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because by that logic, I mean, so was Captain America, so was Thunderbolt.
No,
like all of that.
Captain America is not going to do very well overseas because people hate America. I'm not worried. There's a big.
It's not about hating America. No, I disagree with that.
What are you talking about? Winter Soldier did a good. Winter Soldier did great. I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Yeah, because the main character was black. It has nothing to do with that.
Okay. Hey, man, listen.
But I'm just saying,
y'all can have your opinions on it.
The action was starting.
Thunderbolts didn't do very well because Sinners was still hot at the box office. Sinners took Thunderbolts lunch, and it took Accountant 2's lunch. Oh, by the way, there was a re-release of Star Wars that came in there and took people's lunch as well. Like,
no, I don't. Yeah. I don't think that was the case.
Well, Star Wars came in and did like $30 million on a weekend.
Sinners was more of a word of mouth, right? It wasn't anticipated like Thunderbolts.
But it was going head to head.
The problem is Thunderbolts, they're not known, right?
It's not that it's not known. It's a Marvel movie. People should just show up.
Right,
they don't have that caveat anymore because they've had bad movies.
And that's why I am simply saying, Fantastic Four. When was the last time anybody?
Don't go to Parker route and tell me about what Fox did. Okay, thank you. Because I'll tell you why that doesn't work. Because they had the Fox Wolverine that never touched the kind of money that Wolverine and Deadpool made.
All right, I'm back.
They never had that. Once they knew it was MCU Wolverine, that's what made the interest go a lot higher. That's why the Fantastic Four interest of being there. Logan didn't do it. It didn't do $1 billion.
It doesn't. Okay,
and it wasn't very good either.
Right, but it was successful because of the character.
Everybody with this Logan film thing, I liked the movie. It was all right, but at the end of the day, it made $619. Right, that's what Logan did.
Is Logan the one when he was in the war and then he with the Asian dude?
No, that was X-Men Origins. That sucked.
When he's old. Logan is when he was old.
Yeah, Logan was older. Yeah, that was X-Men Origins Wolverine. That sucked.
Oh, okay, I don't remember which one. Hold on, Logan, the one when he's
older, very old.
That's when remember Professor was cursing at him. F you, Logan.
Okay, I don't think I've seen Logan.
Yeah, he was good. Like X-Men Origins Wolverine, it cost $150 to make. It made $373. That wasn't that. It's not that good. That's Batman.
As popular as Wolverine was, both Deadpool movies always made more money than the Wolverine movies. If you look at the box office,
absolutely,
Deadpool always eclipsed it.
Because
That's what's crazy to me.
Deadpool's a good character, and he's an even better character when he has the Wolverine to play off of. Because how long he been begging Wolverine to be in those movies, and that's just what it was. You know, look, that's why I think if the Fantastic Four movie is a good movie, I think it does $1 billion. If it's a good movie, if it's the same MCU stuff,
I don't know.
Not moving the needle.
Thunderbolt was damn near a higher score than Endgame. Like you couldn't get any more better
because of all that comedy and BS they had in it. That's why people love it. It was a light-hearted movie. It wasn't that good. They had a guy that was OP beating up that wasn't.
No, Thunderbolt was really good. I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with that.
Well, here's what I do know. Deadpool, Wolverine.
They haven't had a movie that good since like Thunderbolt. I'm telling you, bro.
I disagree. The last movie that MCU had that was good, and I'm not taking Deadpool, Wolverine because that wasn't a very great movie. It just made a whole lot of money. The last good movie that the MCU probably had was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. That was probably their last good movie.
I mean, how are we
or watch Thunderbolt like eclipse that though?
Because I love Spider-Man. Are we counting that as an MCU movie?
You can count it,
but
I'm
could.
saying, I'm not.
It makes more money than all those.
No, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about
good movie.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying they haven't. I'm saying Disney hasn't put out a good thing for a while. And it's a Thunderbolt. Like, I mean, even you can include Guardian. Guardian came out like a couple years ago.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. Even if you're saying they're good, man, nobody knows those people. They're not gonna go see people they don't know.
And that's literally my point. Like, it just. That those characters just is not known. Nobody.
It's
knows
not even just the characters, man, and it's the actors and actresses. Like those are
the brand recognition.
Yes, those are like nobody. Right. Bro, this Pedro guy, he's a known guy. You know, he's a hot commodity. You know, bro. All right, so Guardians of the Galaxy got an 82% in reviews.
Wait, hold on. Before you
and
continue,
Thunderbolt's got 88.
Before you continue, are you saying that Superman won't do well because there's only one actor? There's only one actor we know, and that's Beast from X-Men.
Kelsey Grammer. So listen,
no, not Kelsey Grammer. The younger version. Remember the First Class? The Beast that was in First Class. That's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he's Lex. He's playing as Lex.
Okay, well they should have.
So that's the only person that we know.
They should have got Rosenbaum. I didn't say anything about Superman not doing bad at all. I'm just telling you how good Fantastic Four could potentially do. I didn't mention Superman.
No, you didn't. But you just said because of the recognition of the characters, like nobody's.
That's why Thunderbolts did that bad. Listen, the Superman. First of all, the Superman name is bigger than any character in Thunderbolts. I mean, I don't even know what we're
talking about. I won't argue that.
Yeah,
I won't argue.
Exactly. So you're going to get... You'll make $100 million in a weekend just because his name's Superman. That's a fact.
I won't argue.
Yeah, but the Thunderbolts are unknown characters that nobody gave a shit about. You got an imposter Black Widow, an imposter Captain America. Did you really think you were going to... Come on, bro. You got cosplay fucking characters in here. What kind of money did you think they were going to make? You know, it's just what it is.
I'm sorry, I thought they was going to make more money because they got their
movies here.
They got their version of Superman in that movie. I thought they would make more.
Oh man, that guy sucked.
The Century sucked. Wow,
fuck that guy.
He was washing all of them up. I don't know.
You know what? I cannot wait for Professor Xavier to jump in his head and make that dude collapse. You know, I'm so sick of him.
Professor X don't move like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the X-Men do move like that. If you make a threat to humans or anybody, Professor will make you bend the knee. Unless you
Professor X didn't even stop Jean Grey in X-Men 3. What are you talking about?
No, he was trying to save her.
But you just proved my point.
Too.
He could have killed her. He could have killed. Listen, we know what Professor could kill anybody if he put Cerebro on.
Man, you wild.
Yeah, I don't think he could do anything to Century though.
You're thinking about
his will to do it because he wants to save people instead.
You're thinking about his sister.
That's exactly why.
Even if he has the will to do it, he can't really do anything to Sentry though. Like it doesn't that mindset doesn't work. Remember, Sentry.
How could it not? He's mind fucked, Manhattan. What are we talking about?
If he taps into his mind, the Void would kill him. Void is to separate beings. Like that dwells inside.
Oh.
That's why he struggled with Scarlet Witch. Remember, Scarlet Witch had another thing inside of her. Like
Well, she is a witch.
his powers is good until like he runs into people like that have a different personality. Like,
So how do you think Sentry feel? How do you think he'll do against the Scarlet Witch?
I don't know. That's a good question. The Void is said to be stronger, actually.
Listen, Professor X would have a great chance if he was Onslaught versus Sentry. If he was Onslaught, then yeah, now you're talking.
Okay,
Nah.
so all right, so you taking Sentry or the Hulk?
They fought to a standstill in the comics, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you taking Sentry or Thor?
Sentry,
All right, Sentry or Captain Marvel?
because
What do you
Thor almost killed.
Hold
Hulk
on.
almost
Sentry
killed
or
Thor.
Hulk. I would take Hulk. Sentry versus Hulk. I would take the Hulk.
Now,
Mhm.
now you remember how overpowered they made freaking Captain Marvel in the MCU? Where has she been? You telling me she can't beat this dude?
But she's really powerful though.
Yeah, I know. She came and grabbed Thanos' hand like he was a baby. You know, nobody else can do nothing. But she came and stopped him.
He is stronger than Thanos, though. Technically,
Is he stronger than Galactus?
I don't think
No.
anybody's really stronger.
Is he stronger than Gladiator?
Well,
That's what I meant. I meant
well,
Gladiator.
Come on,
Is he stronger than Gladiator? I meant Gladiator.
Yeah, I was-
Is he
That's
stronger
not
than
true,
Gladiator?
man. That's not true. Reed Richards' son is actually had Galactus as his herald.
Oh yeah,
Damn.
no, come on,
Damn,
bro.
he's pimping.
Who
Jesus.
did he say? Who said
Well, I'm just saying. You said nobody's
No, who the
powerful like Galactus.
So Laughing
Oh,
is
no,
a cure.
no,
Laughing is a
no,
cure
no.
said Sentry's too powerful, and he said he'll take the
is very
Hulk, but
powerful.
Sentry would give him a good run. He said why? Because he said
Wait,
MCU
what is Sentry? What is Sentry powers? Because I don't know about him.
basically Superman on steroids
Yeah,
that's
Superman with mental issues.
with no kryptonite. You know,
So why is y'all saying he's more powerful than Professor X? He's not a psychic there, right?
no, Professor X.
Yeah,
I mentioned Professor
No, but he
Xavier.
has a split person. He has a split personality.
Yes, he's got mind
The whole-
problems. Yeah, he needs a mental day.
His stuff doesn't really work.
So why
on people.
Professor X won't be able to stop him? He
Need
could
some
close
better
those
help.
parts of his. He could close those
Because
parts of his
one,
mind.
he has a like ability, like psychic abilities doesn't really affect him anyway. That's number one. Even two, even if you manage to tap in, he has a whole nother being inside of him. Like, what do you do with that? Like,
No, Professor X could lock it up just like he did the Phoenix with Jean.
Ah,
But you see,
okay,
he didn't do
shit,
that with
Smoothie.
Phoenix. You got to remember that.
yeah, he got.
You
Yes,
should have
so
killed me
is
when
that-
you had the chance, Charles.
So one,
She murked him in her
one,
childhood home.
and you're also understanding a void is entirely a different thing. Like, what are you locking a void to? What?
I think you know
I
what,
got to research because I don't know about him like that, so I can't.
Yeah, what I'm
speak
saying
for
is-
him.
bro. I think Ant-Man can beat him. He'll get side of his head and just knock his
the
brain
void-
out.
Now Ricky's trying to derail that.
I'm just
The
telling
void
you.
is like a cosmic being, right? So what are you locking a cosmic being to exactly? Like,
Well,
So how
the
was
Phoenix is also
how was the bootleg Avengers had a chance against him?
talk that shit, bro. For
he didn't have
real,
a chance against him,
bootleg
like-
nigga.
They
He's
didn't.
right.
They had to talk him. They had to talk him off
the
the
only
ledge.
thing that can stop Sentry is himself. Like, that's the literally.
Yeah,
the
they had
only
to talk
one,
him
like,
literally off the
nobody
ledge.
can do
That's
anything. It just, yeah, the only person that can stop him is himself. I mean, it's just a
Yeah, I
constant
gotta
battle between-
research this. This is why these movies don't pop because I've never heard of this Sentry person.
So the Living Tribunal,
Yeah,
so the Living Tribunal can't do anything to him.
I mean, come on, Ray, you're just doing too much. See what
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about?
Don't pay it. Don't pay him no
Is he
mind.
not a guy?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
guys are
yeah,
giving
but
me guys.
nobody's-
But what
But
is
we're
he?
comparing. I mean,
Can he or
we
can he
talk
not?
about- Okay, why are we in a living tribunal like that? That's insane.
Well,
Come on,
you said
bro.
he's a cosmic being, so you bring the big fucking guns.
I said the void. I didn't say.
Fuck
Sentry
that
himself.
void with the tribunal around. You kick that shit
Right.
around.
So wait, is you saying he not beyond the powerful, like beyond?
Man, they
No,
told me that
not-
Spawn couldn't be beaten around here. They go a little overboard.
Nobody, come on, bro.
Yeah, Spawn can't beat him. Spawn can. You know what? I was doing my research in comics and power and abilities. To me, and I'm excluding the gods like the Galactuses of the world, the Thanoses with a gauntlet, and the dark sides. To me, one of the baddest mofos is Blade. Think about it. Blade is one of the top, bro. The stuff that Blade can do, they didn't put in the movies. He can turn to a bat. He can turn to a mist. He has mind control. Blade has all of that, bro, because he is essentially a vampire who can walk in the daylight. And I think that the Blade that they put in the next movie should have those abilities that they didn't
Nah, that's
tap
too much.
into.
That's doing too much. Hell no.
But he'll be a fucking monster.
Like that no more. They're not doing that, Rick. That's too much. Having him turn into a bat and all that.
Yeah, he can do it though. I mean, come on, man. He can do it. He can turn to it.
That's making him too much vampire.
But he is. Yes, he does have a human side to him that won't let him eat human people. That's why he won't do it. But when you say he's too much like a vampire, goddamn this movie, he is a vampire. Remember this line: all of their strengths, none of their weaknesses.
Yeah. He is a vampire. Okay, let's say that. But if they make a movie, Rick, with him turning into vampires, him turning into dust, and him mind controlling motherfuckers, you might as well have him biting people too. Fuck it, you might as well just go the whole way.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. I want y'all to keep this shit all the way real. Now, when they cast people, they've did it with white people, Chinese people. Would y'all mad if they gave us a white Blade?
Fuck yeah.
What?
No, we ain't doing that.
Wait a minute.
No,
when they turn a white, hold on.
Mm-mm.
When they have a white character and they turn them black, we don't say nothing.
Nope.
So why would we get mad over that?
Only if he's in the cadence of Michael Jackson, because he had an identity crisis.
So money. You saying you wouldn't mind seeing a White Panther?
Oh, shit.
Is that what you saying?
I can't. No, what I'm saying is I can't say nothing because we did it with the white characters.
The room is open, chat. Please throw money in the room for Coonan right now. I can't believe this brother.
Hold on.
I can't believe my brother.
So wait a minute. So you would be upset, Deuce? You would be upset.
Yes, if they had a White Panther, yes, absolutely.
Laughing as a cure said, we don't want a white Blade. Hell no.
Hey, yo, Big Money. I was upset at first when they made the Puerto Rican Spider-Man. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how can we, like, come on, y'all, as black people, how can we not say nothing when they turn a white character black, but when they do a black character white, then we, come on, y'all.
Hey, unless it's 50-50. Yes, unless it's 50-50, we ain't doing that.
What are you talking about? Big Money? Who they did that with?
Bruh, you don't know everybody.
Like Nick Fury. The
Hell yeah, Nick Fury.
He's one of them.
They had listen, this was the craziest one. What's Doctor Strange? The dude that was over him, he was always an old Chinese man, and they turned it into a white woman.
But look, see, you know what though? I'm gonna tell you.
Emmanuel A1 is here. He said, "Jesus."
They got away with that. The age demographic that goes to see those movies don't know about them people. They don't know Nick Fury was a white man or about Nick Fury. Average age demographic don't know that. Big Money.
No, bro. No, come on, people. Comic book people know what that stuff is, man. They know the lore of that stuff. Just like with Namor. Look at Namor. Namor was a white man. They turned him into a Mexican. So come on, we can't get mad over that, y'all.
It's not Namor, it's Namor.
Ooh, you said that all like you about to go to bed with him.
Oh man, Brother Ali said, "Big Money, stop that tap dancing for White Blade and White Black Panther." That white woman turned Big Money out. Oh man.
Listen. Y'all cannot get upset if they do something like that. That's all I'm saying. Because if they do it with white characters, they should be able to do it with black characters too. Y'all need to stop that now. Come on, stop it. We got a black mermaid. We had a black mermaid. Come on, bro. We ain't never seen a black mermaid before.
But then she went. Hold on, she went crazy, tried to kill herself and her kid. You see what happened with the damn black mermaid? Huh?
It only works with some character. Listen, you know what? I wouldn't, to tell you the truth, I would not mind with certain characters. Certain characters I would not mind. Long as it makes sense. Long as it makes sense. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all.
I'm perfectly fine with race swap if it don't make sense. Like Nick Fury, he is a great character, and Samuel Jackson elevated to a whole nother level.
Look, see? If you have somebody that come in and do a great job, they just do a great job.
Big Money. You think the majority of people that go see Avengers know that Nick Fury was white?
Nah, what? Yeah, man, what the hell? But people play video. Listen, in the video game, did you play what is that video game? The top down ultimate, is it Ultimate
Alliance?
Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance, bro.
Yeah,
like, bro,
the
everybody know
ultimate
he used to be white.
The ultimate version of Nick Fury in that game is black though.
Bro, y'all have to listen. One thing you have to stop doing. If you was born in a certain year, stop thinking that's the only time that exists. It was time before that. If you was born in the 1980s, just don't think people exist from the 1980s on. If you was born in the 90s, don't think it was just the 90s on. It was people before you.
And listen to
hold on, let me read this comment from let me read this comment from Laughing is the Cure. Heck no, people didn't even know who Nick Fury was until Samuel Jackson got it in. We ain't talking comic book fans. We're
and I
talking
guarantee you,
Hey,
Laughing. Hold on, Laughing. How old are you, Laughing? Watch this. Put your how old you are if you ain't scared to put your age in there. But if you don't want nobody knowing your age, I understand. But put your age in there and watch what I'm telling you.
But you know what, money though.
What?
David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury, I think in the 90s, and he didn't do well as Nick Fury. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
Dudes, ain't nobody see that shit. I don't even remember that. I'm 36. When I was
look, 35. He 1 year under him. 1 year under him. What did I tell you? You have to stop thinking in that way. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
The point I'm making is the majority of demographic that go see those movies is our age group, like me and homeboy that just said that. Unless you really in and know the average our age group, there was no cartoons growing up with Nick Fury in it.
So you're saying people that's going to see these superhero movies are 35 and under? Are you really saying that?
The average goer, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my Jesus Christ! Well, bro, I'm gonna leave you with that.
What you think the average age group? No, I'm asking you, Big Money. I'm asking you. What you think the average age group?
It's all ages that go to the movies, bro. It's not no certain age. It's all ages. All ages, from kids to adults to old people. They all go to the movies, bro. They all go to the movies. Ain't no certain demographic that just go to the movies.
It is a demographic like you. Give the African race a bad name. Coons like you give good 65% of men want to go see
Coons like you is the reason so many black folks are walking away from this.
You know what? That's like saying it's a certain demographic that only go to Star Trek conventions. Certain demographics that only go to these Comic Cons. You would think kids only go to Comic Con. Do you know how many grown ass people that's 40 and over that go to Comic Con?
I know this.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's still a demographic though for everything, Big Money.
Fam, I ain't gonna argue with. If that's what you think, I'll let you think that. But it's all demographics that go to the movies, bro. They all go. They all go. I can give you percentage wise. Now, percentage wise, I'll probably give you maybe 40%. The other 20% kids, and the other is 40 and over.
Hey, Big Money,
percentage wise, you will have that. But it's all kinds of the people that go to this. I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No, it was a question for you because this goes back to race swapping and all that stuff. Who played The Last Samurai? Like, which actor played that role? Do you know?
The Last Samurai, the movie?
Yeah, who was the lead?
Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
Tom Cruise.
Exactly. Did you hear the name of the movie?
No.
But listen, why I said that. The reason why I brought that up is because white people have been doing that for years. They've been using their own stuff to represent whatever and whoever they want. So when I hear somebody,
you're taking the name.
I know. I'm gonna finish. I promise you.
Okay. All right. Sense. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, if I know somebody's name is Black Panther, I don't expect Ryan Gosling to show up as Black Panther. So that would right there would bother me.
Hey, because somebody could get Godzilla in here to take Big Money's black card.
Let me answer him back.
I said somebody get Godzilla in here to take Big Money's black card.
Listen,
it's expired.
Listen, you have to look at that movie. Just because it's called The Last Samurai doesn't mean that the actor that played that role was a Japanese person. That role is meant for a white person, period.
But money, you hear what you're saying, brother? Like,
yeah,
I'm not even
no, because you're trying to correlate that's like when Brad Pitt played in a movie called The Mexican.
Exactly. You proving my point.
Wait a minute,
you said how you proving?
But I let you. First of all, I let you finish, Deuce.
Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, brother. The movie, when you make, let's say me and you make a movie called The Alien, and I put a human in it. That's the role we picked.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? You don't take something that you don't take something that you call the movie The Mexican and have a Mexican playing. That's not the theme of the movie. You're missing the whole theme of the movie.
You don't think the representation is important at that point?
No. Okay, so you're saying you're saying because they put out a movie called The Last Samurai, it 100% need to be a Japanese person in the lead role. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I think the lead role should go to someone from Asia. Yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%.
Right. See, I'm kind of a Deuce. How can I put this? It's kind of like you don't understand how movies work, and I'm not trying to say that in a bad way. I'm not trying to say that in a bad way because you're missing the point. Just because they called the movie that doesn't mean whoever wrote the script, they wrote the script for a white person.
I understand that. What I'm telling you is Hollywood is getting away with that shit for years, and that's what I'm telling you. I don't think it's right. I understand what they're doing, but I'm just telling you it ain't right, my brother. I mean, I don't know.
So anytime they call something like The Last Samurai or The Last Indian, it should brother. It don't go like that, fam. I'm sorry to tell you. That's the name of the movie.
I told you I understand that it doesn't go like that, but I just said I don't agree with it.
That's what he said.
I understand how Hollywood moves.
He said,
I don't agree.
So you think they should have called the movie something else than The Last Samurai?
I think they should have had a lead from Asia. Being the last
because did you see The Last Samurai? Did you see it?
I did, brother.
Because Tom Cruise wasn't the last samurai. That guy that was his mentor was the last samurai.
Somebody has to
call the movie. You see, you still missing my point, man.
And a few other butt licking.
You got it, man. You got it.
Boot licking.
No, because I'm trying to understand. You're saying because they let the lead guy be a white guy, they shouldn't call the movie The Last Samurai.
You want something from them, or you want favor from them, or you want to be recognized by them. If you don't stand up for the liberation of our people, then the hell with any nigga. I don't care. Our people.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No,
I would not mind. Listen, when they made The Little Mermaid, did they change the name of The Little Mermaid to The Little Black Mermaid?
No, they didn't. That's why
okay, then. What are you
with any nigga? I don't care who he is or where he is. The hell with him.
You wouldn't have an issue with that. And you said no, and I would. That's it.
Okay, that's just a preference of opinion. That's your opinion.
Jesus
that's mine. Because that's what I thought you were trying to say.
Ali said. Oh man.
Yeah, I ain't kind of let what Ali say. I'm thinking you're saying because if they name something, they should, just like I said when Brad Pitt played in The Last Mexican, they should have had a Mexican in there. I thought you was talking about if they have some as a lead guy, as a white guy, they shouldn't call it The Last Mexican.
No, listen. That's why I use Black Panther, because I don't know if I'm conflating an issue or something. That's why I use Black Panther, just to simplify it. But you said that you wouldn't mind that, so we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. That's why I brought up the question to ask you guys. We do it when they do it with us. When they do it with us, we don't mind. And I'm asking you guys, would you mind? And I see you would mind. If
absolutely would. Yeah.
Usually it was a black character and they turned them and they had a white character. I wouldn't mind. I just wouldn't. As long as you can play the part, I don't mind what color you are. I don't. You know what I mean? Because they've been doing it. I've been saying this stuff because when I listen, this is one thing I be and I think Ricky can verify. Just like when me and what's his name, Ron was talking about the the Silver Surfer thing. And I pointed out to Vaughn, I said, Vaughn, in the last 30 years, they had Galactus had 3 women characters, 3 heralds as women. Why couldn't they pick one of them? They made the Silver Surfer a woman. And he couldn't understand that. And I'm trying to figure out, damn, like, if we can do that, we can do anything, as long as, just like when we play, listen, when we talk about, when you hear everybody talking about who should play Kratos. Who should play Kratos? He got a black voice, but he's a white man.
Well, like
what
Darth
do
Vader.
we do?
Darth Vader, the same thing.
Should he be black or white?
I don't know. He ain't neither. He's just dusty as hell. He got all that ash on him.
You can play him, honestly.
He said what?
We could use Triple H to play him for all I care. I mean,
see, it's really the voice. You got to get the voice good with Kratos because he pale. He ain't got no skin color. So if you use a white man or a black man, his skin gonna still look the same.
Well, you can have somebody do the voice work for him. That they did the same thing in Fantastic Four. They had Lawrence Fishburne come in and do the voiceover work because they didn't like the other guy's voice. They didn't like the guy that played Darth Vader's voice. He's like, the Wookiee. He talked like that, and so they.
But you gotta remember, they did it. You're not seeing these people lips move. It might be a little hard to do that one.
No. It's easy. If you ever watch The Conjuring, right? What's that woman's name? The white lady that can talk to the dead. She has she got a specific voice, and they had her do the voiceover for the young actress that actually played her in the flashback scene. They had her real voice doing it. Like it's been done. They do it sometimes. They use their
listen. I'm glad you brought up Darth Vader. If you go back and look at some of them old interviews with George Lucas specifically said, I wanted a darker voice.
Yes.
What does that mean?
He said, but not with color. He said not with color though. He said I wanted a dark voice, not meaning color. He did say that.
But man, Rick, come on now. Rick, he bagged himself up. That's the only reason he said that. But he said he wanted a darker voice. Yeah, what do you mean by darker voice? Like, come on, bro. You got sometimes white people will throw you a catch-22 and you be like, hold on, motherfucker, what you trying to say?
Well, look, as long
as are you trying to say black people are the only people that can talk real deep?
Yeah, they are. They're the only ones who we are the only ones. Yes. What the only white guy I heard with a deep voice was that ma. Other than that, it's always the black guys with the deep voice. Always.
Bruh, even if you don't, you got white people that. What are you talking about?
Got a big ass Adam apple. You know, the bigger your Adam apple is, the deeper your voice is.
Yeah, but they fucking sound like this, man. But all those white guys sound like this, man.
That nigga love him Adam's apple. I'm fucking with you, fam. I'm fucking with you.
Now, Thriller Ali said darker voice meaning sounding more menacing and evil.
Well, so Thriller, are you saying there's no white people out there that can sound like that?
Orson Welles.
Are y'all kidding?
He's the guy that talked for Unicron in the Transformers movie. Orson Welles.
You gotta remember though, that's the brother Big Money. You know he going when you got them dudes that with the 6-point stars and all that, he gonna try to find a secret message or something, B. He can't.
Goddamn right.
He ain't gonna just his value.
All right. Well, listen.
Yeah, I did. I kind of figured that because some of these, George, and I'm gonna keep it real, and I hate to say this, but George, George like him a little color with his,
Well, he's the only guy I ever known that did an all black white guy. Remember with that airplane with the pilots, he did an all black cast. With that movie,
I thought some racist shit came out with him before. That never happened with
him. Yeah, listen, Rick, because a lot of people were saying why you don't have black people in Star Wars, and then here comes Lando Calrissian.
That's different. Because if you forced to do it, then you can still be racist. You just had to do it.
Well, he wouldn't give that. He wouldn't give that dark-skinned English motherfucker a lightsaber till the end of the movie. He's like, you don't get to touch the toys.
Because for the longest time, people have this just a rumor. I'm not saying it's true.
Well, but Big Money. That's another one. Remember, Tim Burton turned Harvey Dent black. Billy Dee played Harvey Dent in that '89 Batman movie. So yeah, that was another one they turned from to black.
Oh, you right. Yeah, you right. One. Okay, see what I'm saying? But so come on, y'all. So if Harvey Dent was traditionally black, we would have got upset if he turned white.
Well, actually, traditionally they would do that to us. A black guy, a district attorney, and turns to a goddamn villain. Yeah, it probably.
Wait a minute. Another guy in Batman, the recent Batman, the what's the name was black.
The commissioner.
Yeah, commissioner was black. So it's a lot of them out there, bro.
I'll go back further than that. If you guys remember the Romeo and Juliet movie, Marcuccio was played by a black guy. Ain't no such thing as a nigga last name Marcuccio. That's Italian all day. He was the black guy. A plague on both your houses. Remember that line? See, I was a Steelers student, so I remember that shit.
But I'm not. You see, Big Money. I'm not with that shit. I don't like when they taking the black dudes all the time. That's like Rick probably synced it. You synced the Netflix series, The Resident Evil, and they had the black dude playing.
Oh yeah, Wesker. Oh yeah, awful.
I was like, what the hell is this?
Awful.
But bro, I'm telling you, the worst one that I seen was Doctor Strange. When the ultimate supreme, whatever the fuck they call it, he was always traditional, a Chinese Oriental man, and it was a white woman. I was like, wow, Hollywood, how dare you? And at that point, I was like, because I got so tired of arguing with people, I said, you know what? Then when that was said, and then when I just like now. I got a lot of pushback. I say, okay, what if somebody was that's traditionally always black and they turned them white? Everybody got upset. And I'm like, wow, like y'all, black people sometimes we something else, man. We something else.
Oh,
bro.
yes, and you're one of them, nigga, talking about a white Black Panther.
So what?
Shit.
So what?
Yeah,
so
nigga,
what?
You
nigga, fair is fair, nigga. Fair is fair.
Man, Jesus Christmas. Woof, man.
But you know what happens, Big Money? How much representation you see with us in things like that. This is why things like that happen. Because you look at stuff like Perry White, who's Superman's boss. They made him Lawrence Fishburne. Like he was now a black man in Man of Steel. Like there's not much representation for us out there. So this is why sometimes these things have to happen. It's not because, we don't have black people that we can base characters on. They just didn't back then. So.
They had a lot of white folks playing indigenous people back in the day too.
Yeah, you know what, Deuce, like I said, I don't mind, but what I'm saying is, if you find somebody that can play that part really good, I don't mind them switching it up. I don't.
So Ryan Gosling is really fine for you though. Like that's all right.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out who try to catch that face. Ryan Gosling,
because that's who the internet keeps putting as the next Black Panther.
You ever seen?
They troll him.
He's from Young Hercules. That's what I know him from. That's the first thing I ever seen. He was like the young version of Hercules. He had that TV show back in the day after the Kevin Sorbo shit.
Yeah, I can't picture him. But anyway, I would not mind. I know that Hollywood would get a lot of pushback from that, but if he can play the part right, I wouldn't mind.
I read some Big Money. Will Smith said they not for this Superman, but for a Superman movie before. He didn't say when or the time of the year, whatever.
They asked him to be.
He
Superman.
said, "You don't fuck." He said, "I am a black man. You don't mess with people, hero." I turned that shit down.
He said. All right, well, listen.
That's just like Parker. Parker don't want no black Superman.
Parker don't want a black Superman for years. Black people in movies, period. He says Snow White was better than Captain America. Enough said. We know where his loyalty lies. The man's deranged. But listen, I want to thank y'all for coming through. I got to get up out of here. It's 8:50. We was only supposed to go an hour, so we went like 20 minutes over, which is cool. Welcome back, Big Money. He adds a lot to the show. Hopefully he's there next week. Manhattan does too. Shout out to Tie That Woman. Emmanuel A1 came through. Laughing Insecure. Thriller Ali. Tons and tons of other people. But Arios is always here. Swordfish. Tie That Woman. King Reaper. Shout out to y'all. But I got to wrap this up. I got to get up out of here. We're going to get back to watching our shows for next Monday. If we do,
I'm gonna start walking around with a flag that say "White Lives Matter."
Oh,
White Lives Matter.
And I'm gonna send you a Hulk Hogan shirt, brother.
And I just want everybody to know this, man. Superman forever. Fantastic Four can never.
Okay. You sure to be ashamed of yourself coming from the continent of vibranium, you bastard.
Man. That was funny.
Wait a minute, look what Laughing called me, Snow Bunny Money.
Oh man, big facts. We like that. I'm about to change his name right now. I'm about to change his name right now. We gonna change
like that name
Snow
right there.
Bunny
Money.
Money.
Snow Bunny Money. Woohoo!
Oh man, if it ain't snow, you got to go. That's what Big Money said. All right, hey, listen, shout out to y'all. We'll see you guys maybe Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure. We'll figure this out. All right, y'all have a good night and see you guys.
To the like button, chat.